now we're going to get into the Tank versus Roach fight, followed by the new boxing league. So if to catch you all up, hopefully you've seen the fight, looked at the highlights, but the Tank versus Roach fight, it was actually really good. It was really close. And in all honesty, I could see it coming out as a draw. The scorecards are 115, 113 for Davis. And then we have 114, 114, and 114, 114. Now, with that, you could see it coming out as a draw, but here's the problem. Davis took a knee during the fight. And the controversy is that should have been ruled as a knockdown by Roach. However, the ref, when he started the count, Tank told him, no, don't count it. He immediately hopped back up into the corner and called for his, team to wipe his face down. And why did they call for his face to be wiped down?
I can't remember. Like I said, I don't know why it was a stoppage. I got to look that up.
Okay.
I can't remember why there was a stoppage.
I want to say it was because he got his hair done.
Yeah. That was his excuse. I don't know if that was he told his corner or the ref. But after the fight, he went into the detail that he got his hair done and his stylist used a lot of grease on his hair. And unless you got your hair done right before, even so, I'm pretty sure you ain't sweat through that much grease.
Yeah.
To get in your eyes. But like I said, I think he got rocked. He did take a pretty good hit from Roach and kind of backed off. And then you could tell he was going, if you watch the full fight, highlights really don't really show it, but you could tell there's a couple times he was trying to get sweat out his eyes. But even if that was the case, I mean, you could have played rope-a-dope, you could have backed up. But for him to, after a combination from Roach, to kind of stagger back and legit take a knee and then call off the ref saying I'm not down, is crazy. So that really affected the fight, because if that was scored not down, and Roach would have won that fight, then Davis would have had his first loss on his career, right? I don't think he's undefeated. So
because this is his first draw. So I mean, I don't know. It's weird, but it definitely should have been considered a knockdown. So they are going to fight again, but here's where the politics come into play, and I hate it. And I hope Turkey Al-Sheikh puts an end to this. But I'm sure you know where I'm going with this. I believe where the talks are, and Tank even said this in his post-fight interview, that he was supposed to fight Jake Paul next. And I believe they are still going to fight next, because he said that, this fight with Roach, he wants to do it again, but it won't be until next year.
They can technically fight in 6-8 months from now, but so he after the bag, he after the money.
I guess so.
Because what else you get in fighting Jake Paul? It's Jake Paul,
right? He's
not no big name fighter. I mean, he just beat last time he got in a ring. He just beat Tyson, who's way past his prime.
Yeah,
a grandpa version of the fighter he used to be.
Mm-hmm.
So to say that you fighting Jake Paul is just saying, hey, you want a payday. That's all the ball's down to. You want a payday.
Yeah. And, I hate that, because people accuse Tank of, after he got to where the level he's on, fighting people that's below him, except for the Ryan Garcia fight. That one, he really had to put in his work. But after Ryan Garcia, I won't call them nobodies, because they've had to put in their work to get to where they are, and they've worked hard. But these aren't well-known people that he's fought these past few years since Ryan Garcia. Whereas you got him beefing with Shakur Stevenson, but he won't fight Shakur Stevenson. Who else won't he fight? There are a couple of others he won't fight. I didn't lost the names and slipped my mind that fast.
Yeah, because there was a thing. I remember seeing a video of him going down a list of fighters and legitimately would call them trash or not. And I think you only, out of the, I'll say, 10 or so names he got, presented with, I think maybe only one or two he showed respect to.
Mm-hmm.
So I wish I could find that video but I forgot who was even doing it or answering the question. But they just went down a list of fighters we thought was, was worthy to get in the ring or battle it out with him, and he ain't really suspecting nobody. I mean, granted, you are, 20 and 0, 20 0 and 0 and 1 now. Like I said, Roach, was very adamant of saying, hey, he understand, why he's, his punch power and why, why he gets so much respect for that. But he said he also know he can take a hit and he can throw a hit in so many ways. I mean, like I said, if you just look at it in the box and you take the knee out of it, that fight will legitimately should have been scored a draw. So that part of the fight was right. But I mean, it's hard to say that Tank didn't go down on a knee. And like I said, even if, like I said, you get a cut or anything and you get any eye and the ref comes up and stop it, I think that's scored a certain way too. Or it's on the ref to protect the fighter at that moment.
Mm-hmm.
So if the ref didn't see where the issue was, that Tank needed, some assistance because, he busted up, got a cut, but stopped bleeding, there was blood. I mean, there's a reason to stop the fight, but just because, wiping at your face or whatever, because you got grease in your eye, I mean, is a little ridiculous. So that fight should have been his knee should have been scored knockdown, and it should have went in as Roach winning everybody split decision at that point.
Yeah.
If that should have had counted as knockdown. But let's say interested to see, them get in the ring again, maybe. Pretty sure after that person got called out for, a reason why he had sweat in his eye, pretty sure he probably had to find another stylist because pretty sure that stylist say, oh, no, you got me one time, you ain't get me. So you had the other big boxing news stories that broke over the last few days. The parent company of TKO partnering with Dana White, and I'll let you pronounce his name because I don't want to mess it up.
Turkey Al-Sheikh.
I'll start their own boxing promotion.
Yeah, this I am happy for, and I'll tell you why. Back in the 80s and 90s, we remember how big boxing was. It seemed like, fighters were hungry and they wanted to fight. Of course, you had your boxers here and there who would only take the big money fights, but they were few and far in between. And then you get to the Floyd Mayweather era where, he's handpicking people to fight, or I say handpicking people. More so, he ain't fighting unless the money is completely right. And then you get these belts and you hold on to them forever, not really wanting to be competitive. And that same formula has bled over until today. That's actually what started the downfall of boxing. And that's what bled over into today. And what you noticed when Turkey came onto the scene was that, okay, he is now the financier of all of these big matches we've been getting for the past 2 years?
Yeah.
Yeah. In 2 years, he has been financing these big fights, and we've been seeing a lot more. Now, the heavyweight division, there's still some issues to work out with that. But with this new league, well, I believe the plan is to eliminate all of the belts and only have one belt for each weight division.
Which will that's the reason to watching it on itself, because you get all these different AFD and ABC and ESP and all these different quote unquote promotional belts. You're like, well, are these even have any, prestige to them? Like, do you want to actually win it? Are you truly the heavyweight champion? Are you truly the lightweight heavyweight champion? Where are you? Because if you only got 3 million belts on this side, but you only fight for this belt, what's the point?
Right. And so, that's the biggest upside for me. And having one belt, it's not going to force a fighter to go missing. I guess that's another way to put it. They're going to have to fight to hold, their position, or they're going to have to forfeit their belt. Like, for instance, I'm going to show y'all something. I wish we had, screen sharing, but we don't have it quite yet. Let me tell you something. Have y'all seen where this guy has been for the past 2 months? No, he just disappeared. He just legitimately disappeared.
So if y'all find him, tell him the perspective what Stephen and Patrick are looking for. because he was supposed to be our savior, so to speak, of the
Yes.
heavyweight division, and now this guy just went ghost on us. So you don't know what happened. I think he had a fight lined up, but I think he quote unquote got sick and they had to
Yeah.
cancel the fight. But he got sick. I don't know. Now the point is, like they say in church, growing up, we grew up in church, and so that person was sick unto death. So it's Mr. Dubois somewhere out there, struggling for his life. I hope not. I hope not. We need you back in the boxing scene.
Yeah, because go ahead.
You go ahead.
I was just saying, because you got to think about it, with the rankings are so messed up in this current league. You remember the Martin Bacoli fight when he fought Joe Parker? I mean, he just, two rounds, and then he went down. And, you looked at more of his highlights than I did for his previous fights, and you said he doesn't look like a true boxer. And then I find out, was it last Friday, that he got stripped of his IBF rankings. He got stripped off the list. I'm like, how did he get stripped off the list? I didn't even know he was ranked. And then I go and I look at the rankings, and this dude was number 3.
Crazy. Because like I said, I went back and watched his fights, and they always say this guy was George Foreman later years when he had when he got lazy and was just relying solely on his hands and not trying to box. I guess this guy got some heavy hands because, he don't move, he don't play defense. He really just wait for his opportunity to hit a heavy hit to get hopefully a knockout. But he won. I think his record was somewhere around 18, 19 victories, which is crazy in itself because if you watch the guy is not a boxer. I don't care what you say. He's not a boxer. I don't know what that was. Like for him to even like I say, be ranked third at that is outrageous. But to go into tie into the rankings and things, the new league with the TKO brand is currently shifting through a pool around 150 boxers to figure out who wants to sign. And Dana White wanted one of the people spearheading the project, saying they're gonna they're gonna build. I'm sorry, they had the intention to build the league from the ground up, suggesting that at least initially the league would be more aimed at rising fighters than established superstars, which I don't mind at all. If they're giving an opportunity to these guys who want to fight and want to grow the sport rather, then absolutely he should focus on growing the league that way. And then hey, you could say, hey, if we got the freshest, newest talent in this promotion, so watch this promotion. You want to see the best fighters? Here we go. And like I said, I don't think there's nothing outside of the big sport leagues and everything else. Competition is from a different promotion is always a good thing in my opinion.
Yeah.
So you're gonna get great boxing on both ends, if you ask me. Mm-hmm. So if this new brand comes up and they selling out arenas, they selling out stadiums, they got high pay-per-view buy-ins and putting on good fights, on whatever the case may be, monthly, bi-monthly, whatever the case may be, that's going to everybody going to look to elevate that because they don't want their product to seem like the bad product. Yeah. So maybe that will trim the fat on, like I say, all these godforsaken belts that you don't even know what you're fighting for or who you're fighting for. Yeah. Because, like I say, even with the heavyweight championship, our boy, Mr. Dubois, who I think is champion. Yeah, he at the moment. But then you got Usyk and Fury fighting over whatever heavyweight championship belt. Undisputed, blah, 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 blah. So what is it? Like I said, there's two many different promotions with two different, I would say, meaningless belts. So for them to come in and like say, okay, let's narrow it down. If they start with, if you go with, I would say, maybe 4 to 5 different weight classes, and you have 10 fighters in that weight class, if you start promoting around, 50, 60 boxers, so to speak. That way, I think that'd be a little easier to follow for fans. Yeah. And like I said, if you want to do a ranking, like I said, if you know this person, hey, they lost every fight they've been in. You know they at the bottom of the ranking. This person won every fight they've been in thing. But this person beat 6 and 6 beat 7. So there's more way to, get a better understanding on these rankings. Cause like I said, old boy shouldn't have had a ranking. I don't care what nobody say. So like looking for in Mr. Ashik, pronouncing that right?
Yeah.
Is that right? Got the pockets for this promotion.
Yeah.
That man got the money. So if he want to throw, money at these people, he can because he got the money to back it up. But like I say, TKO has been the hot brand. It's an umbrella for, I mentioned earlier, the WWE, USC. They got like professional bull riding also under the umbrella. So, and I think they head by, they're running the product for combat sports the right way.
Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting to see, this new boxing league. Like I said, they're saying that fights might not start taking place till, 2026. Well, I want to see why they won't, can't put something together real quick. I mean, you don't want to rush it. You don't want to look bad with it, but I don't see why, maybe can't start fighting towards the end of this year.
Yeah.
Like, it would get people to notice for that.
And I also believe this league will diminish the celebrity boxing matches.
I hope so. I really hope so. Cause there was something I won't say was quote unquote having some kind of celebrity fight with someone. I can't remember who it was, but I'm thinking why? If anybody need to get back in the ring, it's not you. It's not you. And like I said, the fight that we wanted to see, you wouldn't give it to us 20 plus years ago.
Right.
With you and Mike. So don't try to come quote unquote out of retirement or do this, do that for a payday. Because let's say, it showed Jake Paul will fight pretty much anybody just for a payday, so to speak.
Man, I am so glad Turkey, because I told you about that. Jake Paul was supposed to fight Canelo, had all the paperwork and everything done. It was Turkey making one phone call, fight us.
Which I think Canelo's still pretty much an active boxer in these promotions. So
yeah,
I'm not about to risk my golden goose, so to speak, on some garbage match. No, I was snatching. No, like your mama used to do. You, when she tell you not to touch something, and you touch it anyway, and she yank you back. Yeah, real fast. He said, Canelo, get your butt back over here. You ain't doing that. We ain't doing that today, sir. So like I said, maybe, like I said, if it's a celebrity boxing match for charity, I can understand. Or something of that nature. I mean, but these people like you had, I forgot who was fighting. Chad Johnson had a boxing match one time and got laid on his butt. We all know about Nate Robinson, who got his new kidney. Congratulations on Nate Robinson getting a new kidney. You saw how he got laid out in a boxing match.
Yeah.
So yeah, these fighters not being really fighters. Like I said, if you want to do something like promotional wise to raise money for charity and not take it too seriously, but try to take it seriously. You're not come from the sport of boxing. It's just kind of, disrespecting the sport, in my opinion. That is my personal opinions.
I'm in full agreement with you. Mad respect to the YouTuber JJ. Y'all may know him as KSI. I do not want to see him in another match ever again.
Cause what? He had his hands down the whole time. Why? Come on, Fury. Just one good punch. And knock that guy out his butt. I said, they don't need for him to even go to the scorecard on that. I mean, you should not don't slam out.
Right.
The guy, he had no guard up the whole fight. Yeah, so let's hope, let's say, that's the end of that. But it's good. Like I say, competition breeds success. So, like I say, TKO has been a hot brand at the moment. So, let's say Dana White probably, if not, one of the best promoters at the moment. So he know how to put on a good card, a good match. Like so, you got the UFC, 3?
Yeah, it's tonight.
I'm not gonna butcher those guys' names on camera either. So, but for lightweight championship, should be a good match. Pereira, and I'm not touching the Russian guy name.
Yeah,
but like I said, we got you got Mr. Moneybags and Ashid and Mr. Promoter and Dana White.
Yeah,
put those together. Should be a great promotion.
So speaking of WWE, I forgot to ask you this earlier. What did you and your son think of the actor turning
John
heel?
Cena.
Yeah.
I think that was, and it's quote unquote this is his swan song, so to speak. He's retiring at the end of the year, but with wrestling, it's hard to go. It's easy to go from switch personas. Baby faces are known as good guys. Heels are known as bad guys.
Yeah.
Like I said, the whole segment was weird because The Rock claiming he wants somebody's soul was just what? Was just weird in itself. And he just comes in and he's on the board that's over TKO. He's on the board of TKO and directly oversees the W side on certain things. So he can kind of insert himself wherever he sees fit. But like I said, it was one of the biggest shots because John Cena has been the babyface of the company for his pretty much his whole entire. He was like a heel at the very beginning, but he went to babyface, and they thought it was weird that he would go heel on his way out the door. But it'll take a couple of, promos as they call them, or matches to flip him back to babyface, which I think he'll eventually will be at the end of his run in December when he says he's legitimately hanging up the boots. That garnered a lot of views online, and even had a segment, which I was watching First Take, and I was like, they had talking about it on First Take. I like that. That caught me by surprise, but ESPN and Disney, kind of got Netflix and all that kind of connected to a degree.
Yeah.
But I thought that was kind of cool that they got that shout out on First Take. But yeah, old Cena turned heel, and it's gonna be interesting. Like I said, my son, who's young, he don't, like I said, didn't really understand it because he just knew Cena was Cena. He didn't know Cena like when I was his age watching Cena being the babyface guy, the most Make-A-Wish granter in the history of Make-A-Wish foundations.
Yeah. He was a Marky Mark, as they call him, or Mark Wahlberg, or people would say he's similar to Mark Wahlberg when he was going through that hip hop.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's gonna be interesting. Like I said, it's just quote unquote swan song, and they probably gonna give him the championship just to say he broke some record that WWE has. So, but it's gonna be interesting. See how they go. Like I said, it got popular, just name mainstream success on it. So
Yeah. Well, just let us know in the comments what you think of all of this. The Tank versus Roach fight, the new boxing league by Mr. Turkey Al Sheik and Dana White, and John Cena turning heel.